here is my 5 people.
Really? Oh, okay.
Can you turn the other way?
I suppose so you can see everything.
All right. Are you looking for a new way to connect with families, friends, and neighbors, your coworkers, or have a free and fun way to interact with them? Fantasy football may be the answer for that. I know what you're thinking. It's a guy thing, but it may surprise you that 17 million women participate in fantasy football, and there are even children's leagues. So today, by the end of my presentation, I'm going to teach you the 3 basic types of fantasy football, how to set your lineup, and how the playoffs work. So first off, you create teams of players that play in the NFL, and you accumulate points based on their performance that week. So the first league I'm going to go over is a FanDuel League. FanDuel League, this is a weekly league. Your team that you pick resets each week. You can play up to 20 people can participate in the league. So basically, you just fill up your roster. You start with a quarterback, 2 running backs, 3 receivers, a tight end, flex spot, which can be a receiver, tight end, or running back, and then a defense. So based on this, the players that you choose, you start with a $60,000 salary cap. So it shows you the salary of the players here, and you fill your positions, and as your players accumulate points, that determines the winner of the week. So whoever accumulates the most points for the week gets bragging rights for the week, and you can bet chores against the players or other things like that. So the second league I'm going to talk about today is an auction league. Now this auction league, you pick players that you keep the whole season long. The season's typically 14 weeks long. We'll start with a $200 salary cap. How you pick your players is the players are nominated, and then everybody in the league keeps bidding. Highest bidder gets it. But again, you have to be careful because you only have $200 to start your team with. Again, same roster positions. You play one team each week throughout the season. A team meaning another fantasy team that's drafted on this. So I think there's 10 teams. Then again, it's usually 14 weeks long, and you also, then the playoffs begin after that. So the next league I'm going to talk about is a head-to-head league. This type is most similar to the NFL. It's a snake draft. So you randomly pick the order of the teams that are picked. So 1 through 12, there's a 12-team league. As you see here, it's a snake draft. So the team 12 gets the first pick in the next round, and so forth. So it keeps it a little more balanced instead of whoever gets the first pick gets the better players, and so forth. So after you set your team, you have roster spots here. Again, same position, but you also have a bench. So these players you're with all season long. So now when you want to set your lineup, you want to look at their projected points, the rank of the team they are playing against each week. You also want to look out for if the player is injured. It could be doubtful, which means they're probably not going to play, questionable, potential to play this week, and then obviously out, which means they're not going to play. So obviously you don't want to play those players, especially, they accumulate points only if they play. So you also want to look out for bye weeks. So that's why you have a bench here. So when they're on bye, you want to set them aside and replace them with a player that's playing that week so you can accumulate points. Now, just like in the auction league, this is a weekly play against one team each week. So then based on that, you get your standings. Now, based on the standings, it's just like the NFL. So you get your wins and losses. Based on your wins and losses, that's how the playoffs are determined. So once you get to the end of the season of the 14 weeks, you get the top 4 players in. Those teams play each other. You get to the Super Bowl, usually week 16. And then that determines who wins the league. Now again, that person gets the bragging rights for the next year. One of the leagues that I'm in, every time we see the person that wins it, we have to call him champ. It's good for the family. You can bet chores weekly and head-to-head. Gives you something to talk about at the water cooler with coworkers. This is another way to connect. Everybody's on their devices nowadays, so this is a good way to do it. One other thing I want to point out is for the playoffs, you want to avoid week 17 because a lot of NFL teams will arrest their key players, and that's not really fair to the teams playing in here because then their better players that got them to the playoffs aren't playing. So to review, fantasy football gives you an opportunity to engage with family and friends, gives you something to talk about, gives you a way to communicate with coworkers instead of just work talk and whatnot. So one other thing I want to add is even if football isn't your sport, there's fantasy leagues also in soccer, golf, and other things. So if your family is a hockey team, there's hockey fantasy sports. So it's not just football, that's just an example of something that you can do. Any questions?